Hi everyone and welcome to another video from DisplayRepair.com. In this video we'll show you how to thoroughly clean the throttle body on your car. On lots of cars it's easy to access and cleaning it is even easier. So stay tuned. DisplayRepair.com. Be sure to visit us at our website DisplayRepair.com where you can find more useful car and driving tips. If you're not up for removing the throttle body but you still want to clean it, there is a way. Take a look at our video about cleaning the throttle body without removing it. It's even easier than what we're going to show you. The link is in the description of this video or in the card in the corner. We are showing this example on our trusted Skoda Fabia Mark I, which is a very good example for this problem. As mentioned, more or less, the system for taking off the throttle body is the same for most cars. The main difference is in the position of it and its accessibility. On some cars, this can be a serious issue. This video should give you a good idea what to do regardless of the car you drive. So it would be good before you start, just in case, to make an inspection and see if you can do this on your car in order to avoid possible problems or, God forbid, costly damages. Regarding the tools you'll need, it mostly depends on the accessibility of the throttle body on your car. In case of the Skoda, all you need is a screwdriver, the proper socket, and some cleaning spray made specifically for cleaning the throttle body, of course. And that's it. On other cars, sometimes the airbox is more complicated to take off, sometimes there are numerous plastic protections, and so on. All in all, it can be much more complicated. Again, best make an inspection before you start and make an assessment of what you need to avoid getting into a tight spot. One more thing, on most cars there is a certain procedure that must be done after cleaning called the relearning process. It involves, in short, once the throttle body is returned back into place, reads new parameters and makes new adjustments. See how this is done on your car, since on some cars, especially the high-tech ones, you may need a diagnostic tool or specific program. Before you start, I would recommend taking off the minus clamp on the battery, just in case. In this case, it doesn't have to be done, but it's a good safety precaution. Remove the airbox and air filter. First, take off the airbox and the air filter. Sometimes you can do this in two steps. First the air filter and then the airbox, or you can, like in case of the Skoda, take the whole airbox off together with the filter. Under the airbox is the throttle body. Remove any electric connections, pipes, hoses, or else. Inspect around the throttle body and remove any electrical connections, pipes, hoses, or other obstacles leading to it. The point of this step is to make way for taking it out later. Release the screws holding the throttle body. On the throttle body you'll find screws holding it. In this case there are 4 screws, there may be more on your car. Loosen them. It's important not to use extreme force, especially if the air intake manifold is plastic, which is the case with most modern cars. Be careful if possible. Once the screws are released, insert a piece of cloth again, but this time into the air intake manifold. This is, of course, to prevent something getting accidentally into the engine via the air intake manifold. If it does, it can be a huge and costly problem. Clean the throttle body. Now for the main part, the cleaning, which is very easy. Simply take the cleaning spray and rinse the part of the throttle body where the butterfly valve is. Do this on both sides. If possible, open the valve manually so you can clean the gunk that forms between the neck and the butterfly valve. If it's an electronic throttle body, like in this case, move the butterfly valve carefully. This is important as in most cases this is the cause of the problems with the throttle body. Rinse it until it is squeaky clean and there are no traces of gunk whatsoever. Needless to say, avoid spraying the electronic parts and connections. You don't even have to spray any of the external parts unless they are very filthy. Once you're done, leave the throttle body to dry. Return the throttle body and tighten it. Now for the returning part, do everything the same, just in reverse order. At this point, check the gasket that goes under the throttle body, which is located on the air intake manifold. If it's damaged, or by some chance you have a new one at hand, replace it, or else it will cause problems. But if the old gasket is okay, like in this case, you can leave it. Return the throttle body back into place, insert the screws and tighten, best in a crisscross pattern. This is very important. Do not over tighten the screws, or else you may crack the air intake manifold and this can be a huge and costly problem. Tighten in a crisscross pattern to make sure that the throttle body sits on the manifold and on the gasket properly. If it doesn't, you may get a check engine light later. Return all the hoses, pipes, connections, and else. After this, return all the electrical connections, cables, hoses, protective covers, or else back into place. Return the air filter and airbox. Return the airbox and filter and make sure everything sits into place and is properly tightened so you don't get the check engine light afterwards. Do the relearning process. Once everything is done, return the minus battery clamp. Now, do the relearning procedure if needed. On the Skoda, luckily, it just involves turning the ignition key 3 times before starting the engine. Again, check how it's done on your car to make the proper and needed adjustments. Start the engine and check if everything is okay. For the finish, start the engine. If everything is okay, it will run smoothly. There might be a rough idling for a couple of seconds, but if everything is okay, the engine should run smoothly after that. Also, the gas pedal response after cleaning should be more swift and sharper. Of course, no warning light on the dashboard should be present. To summarize, your whole job is to simply take off a car part, clean it thoroughly, and return it back into place. This sounds simple, provided you have easy access, the needed tools, and no freaky electronic problems after you return everything. As you've seen with the Skoda, you can do it practically on the road, so to say. Once more, perhaps the most important information here is to make a good assessment of the job, and I cannot emphasize this enough. Inform yourself a bit before starting and take a good look under the hood. It may mean the difference between an easy job and getting yourself into trouble. So that's it for this time. We hope the video helps. Please like and subscribe. It's a huge help for what we're doing. Thanks for watching and thanks for your time.